Trapping like the narco. Got dope like Pablo. Cut dope like Pablo. Chop trees with the Draco. On the north, got the
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Yanni Nevaeh, and if you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe link because I got some fire stuff for y'all always. Okay, y'all, so today I'm gonna be showing y'all this set that I did. I had a good feedback off of Instagram, so I'm like, let me go ahead and show them how I did this. So first of all, I'm just showing y'all the application. I'm not showing y'all the designs or nothing like that. It's just the application, but the application is the most important part. So I'm going in with my drill. I'm using the Melody Susie drill, and I'm going in. Y'all see I'm using the left to right motion, never right to left. I mean, it depends on, I'm right-handed, so I go right to left, and it's a setting on your drill where you can do that. But y'all, I'm doing this unedited because I want y'all to be able to see everything. So I'm going in with my storks, girl, I don't know how you say it. I'm going in with my scissors, and I'm cutting it to the width of her natural nail because those tips are really fat. So if you don't cut them, they're gonna like duck tips, and you don't want that. Okay, you want to be able to have that shape already done for you so that you don't have to go in and do much, because it's gonna cut down a lot of time. I know for me, this set still took us a little minute because it was her first time coming. We were talking and everything, but I just know that cutting the sides is going to help a lot. So I repeat this step on every single finger, and like I said, this is just gonna help with your shaping. It's gonna help with cutting down time, and when you use the scissors well, you don't have to go in with your file afterwards. So y'all gonna see me do this on this hand. I'm gonna show it in real time, but the other one I'm gonna just speed it up because it's the same thing. But if you pay attention very closely, you can see that I'm literally lining up the scissors with the side of her nail, and when I go on the other side, it's gonna be the same thing. And you have to be careful sometimes, because when you get right there, you can cut them. It's very easy to cut your client, and you don't want to do that, especially because them scissors is real sharp. And I can't lie, y'all, I done did it a couple of times, but it take practice to really like know how to do it. And if y'all can't tell, I have the scissors pointed up. Like these type of scissors, they point up and down. But I'm coming right here. I flipped her hand because that's how I see like if I did a good job, or if I need to cut more, if I need to maybe put acrylic right there to replace if I cut less than what, I mean, if I cut more than what I was need to, you know what I mean? So I'm doing this on the thumb. Y'all can't see, but I literally was doing the same exact thing, and then boom, it's like I came back and it's like boom, you got the whole little shape. So okay, so right here I'm going back in with my drill, back in with the Melody Susie, and when I'm doing this, I have it at a very low, well, not very low, 5. I have it at 5. I have it set at the number 5 because we are on the artificial tips. You can go a little bit rougher with these, but the reason why I am blending this is because this it prevents lifting, and it helps your acrylic go on smoother. I know for me, this is how I do it. And then I kind of, while I'm drilling, I come back where the tip meets the natural nail, and I blend a little bit more, and I use it in a left to right, sometimes like a kind of circular motion. If y'all see me going, if it looks like I'm going circular, it's because I'm going left to right, just very fast. And while I'm doing this, I also line up the sides of the tips because again, they're very fat, and you might think like, oh, I cut it good enough. Nah, sis, you need to go ahead, go in that thing with your file and with your drill, excuse me, and that will basically just ensure that you won't have to go in with your file, and it just cuts down a lot of time. Okay, so right here, y'all will see me going under it, and it's because it gave off that hump, and you don't want that at all, because what ends up happening when you put your acrylic on, it's going to, that hump is going to show, and you're not going to, it's going to be, I'm not going to say you're not going to be able to get rid of it, but it becomes extremely hard. And then once I like release her hand, y'all will see the big difference in the shaping. And I'm literally doing it on every fingernail, baby. We ain't missing no steps. And then again, I'm flipping it, and the shape just looks way more precise. And then that's how I know generally I'm ready to just go ahead and start priming. And then boom, we set for shaping and everything else.
Is this shit real? I contemplate about how I feel, but you make it way too hard to think that this could be what you love. It took a lot of hard shit just to learn how not to break down and stop it. No matter what I've seen in the past, I won't let it impact.
Okay, so right here I'm just coming in and brushing off the dust, and brushing off the dust in advance is just going to help your application, and it's going to help with lifting, so your clients won't be like, oh girl, my nails popping off in 3 days. None of that. So right now I'm going in with my primer. It's today's primer. Every product I'm using is going to be in the description box below, including the tips. So I'm just going in with this primer, and again doing everything from a left to right motion. I don't really not do anything in the left to right motion, and this just ensures that the whole nail is covered in primer, because again, if it's not, your client gonna text you like, I want my refund, and you don't want that to happen. You want to be able to serve your client and make sure their set is up to their satisfaction, but you also want to make sure that the set lives up to its height and it lasts. Like, baby, your clients want to be able to go outside and their nails stay on, period. Now we're getting into the fun part. We're gonna go ahead and get into the application. Okay, so I'm showing y'all the acrylic, but I got that from my nail supply store in my town, so it's gonna be hard for me to really give y'all a link or anything like that. But y'all, right now I'm going in with the first bead, and this bead I use a very big bead, but what y'all see me doing is I placed it directly in the middle, and then I'm wiping the sides with the body of my brush, not the tip, not the very bottom, but the body of my brush. And as y'all can see, I barely, if it did it all, I did not touch the middle of that bead, just because of the simple fact that when you're wiping the sides with the body of your brush, the bead is going to go where you want it to go, so you don't have to worry about wiping the sides or pressing it real hard in the middle. All you need to worry about is the sides and the tip of the freaking, what do you call that? It's a word for it, and I can't think right now, but the tip, y'all see where I'm brushing down, like right there? I'm just making sure that all that acrylic comes to the bottom, and it literally only took maybe literally less than 30 seconds for the bead to come down and for me to wipe the sides. And even right now, I'm just making sure that my brush is formed so that my beads can be consistent. And all I'm doing right here is just continuing to work that bead literally until it's almost dry, because if you don't work the bead until it's almost dry, it has the possibility of scraping when you move around, or better yet, it will go into a different form because the bead is still wet. But right now we got it into the shape of that nail, and it literally looks seamless. So I'm going in with this next bead, and I'm going to apply it right where the nail and the tip meets at. And I'm just again placing it on there with the tip of my brush, but I'm going to come in on the sides, never like aggressively pressing it down in the middle, because that's when the tip is going to lose its form. And although it looked like I'm being rough, I'm using very gentle strokes, and I'm only using the very tip of my brush, because that's how the bead keeps its form. Like, I wanted to replay the clip for y'all, but if y'all can see, when I turned that nail to the side, that bead kept its form because I wasn't pressing too hard. So I'm going in with the next bead, and this is my final bead. So I'm pressing this, putting this right here, right below that other bead that I placed down, and then I'm just going to push it up, because that next bead we're going to do is most likely going to be the cuticle bead. And again, I'm using the tip of my brush to place that bead, and then I'm using the tip of my brush to pull that bead down to make sure that I'm not pressing too hard, not pressing too soft, just the perfect amount of pressure so that the bead can be distributed the correct way. And again, I'm constantly looking to the side. You want to look in all directions of the nail, or if you don't, it's going to, you could risk basically the nail having a dent, anything of that sort. So I'm going in with this next bead at the cuticle, and again, I'm pushing it back. You don't want to press that cuticle bead directly on the cuticle. Oh dang, y'all, I'm tripping. This not even my cuticle bead, but I'm still going to use the tip of my brush to pull that thing out. It's very, I'm not gonna say it's easy, because I understand that everybody has their level of difficulty, and they might be like, girl, this is hard, but it's easy when somebody explains it to you. Okay, this is the final bead, y'all. So as y'all can see, this cuticle bead, I'm not placing it directly on the cuticle. I'm pressing it literally right there, and I'm pushing it back as it is drying. So when you place that acrylic down, it's drying literally every second. So I'm using the tip of my brush to smoothly and slowly push it to the cuticle, and then I'm literally using the tip of my brush to pull it back down. And this will ensure that you don't have any flooding, because I didn't put the bead directly on the cuticle, but I put it simply where it wouldn't flood, but it would still be seamless. And again, I'm turning it to the side, and baby, look at that nail. That application is literally perfect, and the shaping just gonna even be, it's gonna make it so far, like, yeah. So I'm literally going to do this with every nail, but I'm not going to repeat. I'm not going to speed it up or anything like that. I'm going to allow y'all to watch it in real time, and then y'all will see everything else. But I'm about to show y'all right quick how I do this encapsulation. And when I tell y'all it's so easy, I do not go back in with that 3 bead or 4 or 5 bead method, however you do it. I literally do one big bead, unless it's a hump or something in the nail. But I go from the cuticle of the nail, and I literally just brush it down. Boom. It's literally that easy. I don't want y'all to think I be lying, but you don't have to do anything extra. Okay, so right here I'm going in and doing the same exact thing. I'm grabbing an extra big bead. I'm placing it right where the tip and the natural nail meets, and then I'm just going to use the tip of my brush to guide that bead on down. And then y'all see I'm going right back in with the side, going right back in with the body of my brush to brush down the sides. And I'm barely touching the middle of that tip and the acrylic, because that's where you have dents and unevenness, and we want the application to be as smooth as possible, right? So I'm using the tip of my brush, brushing the sides. It's just an ongoing process, and once you continue to do that, you'll be like, oh dang, like now it's smooth, because like I said, you don't have any dents. And y'all see me brushing down. Like I said, it might seem as if I'm brushing aggressively, but I'm using extremely soft strokes, and I'm barely touching the acrylic in my brush.
I used to tell lies, but I would never lie to you. Sipping spray on my dime, looking all kinds of new. So you know what I like, what would you like to do? Tell me, I'm telling you. I know I've been away.
Okay, so right here we're going in with the medium size bead. I tried to show y'all while I was recording, and I'm just placing that right there, because when I looked on the side, it was like a small little dent, and I didn't like that. We want this first bead to have the perfect thickness, because this first bead, if your first bead isn't right, the whole nail is going to be thrown off, right? So you want to make sure that first bead and that the structure of that acrylic looks right. Okay, so right now we're going in with the larger, well, that bead was too big. I was about to say I did that. We're gonna go in with another medium sized bead, and we're gonna place it directly after where I placed that first bead. So y'all see the size of that? So we're gonna put it right there. And then again, where y'all will constantly see I'm utilizing the tip of my brush every time I place down the bead, and then every time I'm trying to drag it back down. We're never going to use the body of the brush when working on the middle of that nail, because like I said, that creates dents. And right now I'm just wiping the sides because we don't want to have that on her skin, nor do we want to have it spilling over on the tips, because that's going to cause lifting, and it just doesn't look good, because in the end we want to be able to shape these nails without having to do all the extra stuff. And like I said, it prevents lifting. You don't want all that acrylic on the sides. So right here we're working with the apex. We're about to start building the apex, and then I'm going to place it like literally right there, utilizing the tip of my brush. And I keep saying that because that's so vital to the perfect application. And I keep repeating it because I also want y'all to know that, okay, yeah, this is how she really does it. And y'all see I'm using the tip of my brush to clean up the sides and to bring it back down. You never want to use the body of your brush. So right here, I think this is one of the nails that I planned on telling y'all that I did that bead a little bit too big. You really could have done it smaller, but because I know how to like finesse it, make it look better, it wasn't really an issue. But as big as I did that bead, don't do that. Don't be better than me. Be better than me. Don't do that bead that big. You didn't. It's not necessary. But I was able to fix it in the end, which was just a blessing. So we're finally going in with this cuticle bead, and of course this bead is going to be like the smallest one, and we're placing it directly after where I put that other bead, and we're just pushing it down. You never want to place it directly on the cuticle because this will cause flooding, and flooding leads to lifting. Flooding, it just don't look right, and you can't shape it how you want to. It's just like a lose-lose on both ends, and you just don't want to have that. So again, I'm using the tip of my brush to clean this up, and then boom, we have that perfect nail. And like I said, it is a little thick, but we are going to fix that in the end. It wasn't how I wanted it to be, like that pinky was. That pinky is literally perfect, and I hope that y'all can see the difference, so that y'all know, like, okay girl, I see what you're talking about. And I'm glad that I messed up, because this is something that y'all may do when you're applying your acrylic, which is absolutely fine. Everything is fixable as long as you know how to. So right now what I'm doing is looking on the side, and it's a little dent, and we don't want that. This is why looking at the nail from all angles is vital, because you'll be able to see all the imperfections and what you need to fix. So I place that bead right in the middle where I see the dent at, and then I'm just steadily adding it until it's perfect. And y'all see what I mean. The dent is literally like right there. It is very visible, very noticeable. And you don't want that, because when we get the painting and stuff, that paint is going to fill up that dent, and it's going to literally have a dent where she wanted that French at. So instead of me adding more nude, I just went ahead and encapsulated it, because in the end all you have to do is take your file and file it. Y'all see what I mean when I go in and do it. But again, we're just following the shape of that nail, using the body of my brush to brush down the sides, and then boom, we on to the next nail. You don't want to steadily put more acrylic. It's just going to be fat. It's not going to look right. And again, we can fix it. So again, I'm going in with a very big bead where the tip meets the natural nail. We're guiding it, and I'm about to wipe my brush because that's a lot of acrylic there. Like, So we're swiping down with the body of the brush, constantly working in the middle, especially if you're guiding that bead down, but using the tip of it. And then again, going in with the sides of the body of the brush. Yep. And then we're just gonna keep pulling it down. I know that this is one of the good nails. I can just tell from this first bead. And we're going to push down that little part right there that I still can't think of the name, and it's like 5 days later. So we're brushing down gently using the tip of the brush, body, and then again body at the end, and then body on the sides. Body yada yada. Let me stop playing. But yeah, that's it. And then you go under. You don't want that acrylic right there, because again, we want the perfect application. We want to minimize the time. You don't want to have to go on with your drill too much, because drilling ultimately can be the longest, but it can be the shortest if your application is close to perfect, period. Okay, so we're just going to continue to work this acrylic until it is perfectly shaped to that tip. And then we're going in with the second bead, which again is a medium-sized bead. Y'all see it's not too big, not too small. And then we're going to place it directly after where I placed that first bead. and this will allow you to have the perfect apex, right? So because I did do that first bead kind of high up, I'm already working on my apex bead. I don't have to do another one, right? So y'all see how perfect that look already, and then I brush it down with the tip of the brush. Or what? Look, oh, okay. And then y'all will see what I mean. See, I pushed too hard, and y'all see that little dent right there? But again, everything is fixable, and it's not too bad. It's one of those things. You see, there it go. It's not there no more. But the reason why that was there was because, for one, I had drying acrylic in my brush, and number two, I was pressing down too hard. It wouldn't have done it if I wasn't pressing down hard. But again, it ended up leveling itself out, so it's fine. So we're going in with this cuticle bead. That bead was entirely too big. We're going in with a smaller bead, and we're going to place it directly after where we had that first bead at, and this will allow you to have the perfect application, baby. The apex is supported, and you don't have to worry about nothing else. So I'm pushing it back, never directly on the cuticle, but right under where you had that apex bead at, and you're just going to pull it down with the tip of your brush. Pull it down and continue to work with it until it looks like the perfect way, right? And then the last thing we do is, of course, encapsulation. This is probably the last nail that I will be talking, because I think that I've explained it good. But y'all can let me know down in the comments if you like, girl, I don't understand that, you're not making sense, I need you to break it down a little bit more. I can, for sure, but this is not necessarily a beginner's tutorial. This is kind of like intermediate, because I know that somebody who's already doing nails and practicing, they'll understand what I'm saying, opposed to somebody who's like brand new. But if I am making a lot of sense to you and I'm helping out, please let me know. I want as much feedback as possible. Just always be respectful, right? So we're putting this acrylic right there. We're using the tip of our brush and never flooding the cuticle area, and then we just bringing it down and making sure that we don't got nothing on them cuticles, because that hurts when you're trying to file. To your client, it hurts, not to us, but it hurts to them. We're wiping the sides, and then we're pulling it down, steadily using the body of our brush, because we want to maintain our shape and not have to file too much in the end. And then boom, you got you a little nail.
It took a lot of hard shit just to learn how not to break down and stop, baby. No matter what I've seen in the past, I won't let it impact how we grow now, baby. But can't let it slip away, drift away, can go to waste, I say it straight to your face, won't contemplate. You got to play that, babe. I don't wanna wait another minute for you. I know you got me falling from the ceiling for you. Knew it from the start there was no limit to you, and I'm catching feelings, baby. Before 10:30, no later than drop them drawers. I know what you want. I ask myself, is this shit real? I contemplate about how I feel, but you make it way too hard to think that this could be what you love. It took a lot of hard shit just to learn how not to break down and stop, baby. No matter what I've seen in the past, I won't let it impact how we grow now, baby. But can't let it slip away, drift away, can go to waste, I say it straight to your face, won't contemplate. You got to play that, babe. I don't wanna wait another minute for you. I know you got me falling from the ceiling for you. Knew it from the start there was no limit to you, and I'm catching feelings, baby. Before 10:30, no later than drop them drawers. I know what you want. I ask myself, is this shit real? I contemplate about how I feel, but you make it way too hard to think that this could be what you love. It took a lot of hard shit just to learn how not to break down and stop, baby. No matter what I've seen in the past, I won't let it impact how we grow now, baby. But can't let it slip away, drift away, can go to waste, I say it straight to your face, won't contemplate. You got to play that, babe. I don't wanna wait another minute for you. I know you got me falling from the ceiling for you. Knew it from the start there was no limit to you, and I'm catching feelings, baby.
Shelby Drive, look alive, look alive. Niggas came up on this side, now they on the other side. Oh well, fuck them, dawg. We gon' see how hard they ride. I get racks to go outside, and I spit it with the guys. We up on the other side, niggas acting like we tied. I been gone since like July, niggas acting like I died. They won't be expecting shit when Capo go to slide. Cause I told them that we put that shit behind us, but I lied. Hey, look who I'm around, man. If I fucked up, I'ma be downtown, man. Full flow down, man. That's if I get caught, man. Push me to the edge, so it really ain't my motherfucking fault, man. I'm not to blame, man. The fucking industry is cutthroat. I'm not the same, man. And I could let you check the tag. Now I'm rocking name brand. I'm only chasing after bags. Now I got a game plan, and I'm out here with the 700 3i5s. Look alive, look alive. Niggas came up on this side, now they on the other side. Oh well, fuck them, dawg. We gon' see how hard they ride. I get racks to go outside, and I spit it with the guys. We up on the other side, niggas acting like we tied. I been gone since like July, niggas acting like I died. They won't be expecting shit when Capo go to slide. Cause I told them that we put that shit behind us, but I lied. Shelby Drive, look alive, look alive. Niggas came up on this side, now they on the other side. Oh well, fuck them, dawg. We gon' see how hard they ride. I get racks to go outside, and I spit it with the guys. We up on the other side, niggas acting like we tied. I been gone since like July, niggas acting like I died. They won't be expecting shit when Capo go to slide. Cause I told them that we put that shit behind us, but I lied. Hey, look who I'm around, man. If I fucked up, I'ma be downtown, man. Full flow down, man. That's if I get caught, man. Push me to the edge, so it really ain't my motherfucking fault, man. I'm not to blame, man. The fucking industry is cutthroat. I'm not the same, man. And I could let you check the tag. Now I'm rocking name brand. I'm only chasing after bags. Now I got a game plan, and I'm out here with the 700 3i5s. Look alive, look alive. Niggas came up on this side, now they on the other side. Oh well, fuck them, dawg. We gon' see how hard they ride. I get racks to go outside, and I spit it with the guys. We up on the other side, niggas acting like we tied. I been gone since like July, niggas acting like.
Okay, y'all, so at this point we had already been done with the application, and baby, look at how pretty it looks. Like it's perfect, so that when we go on with this filing, we ain't gotta do too much, right? I'm going in with the 8080 file, and I'm filing the sidewalls, and I'm using the entire I'm flushing the entire nail, right? So y'all will see what I mean by that if I can freaking get the nail in the view. So I'm flushing the entire nail. I'm not just using the file at the end or the tip of the nail. I'm flushing the entire thing, and I'll do a more in-depth video about shaping. This is just really about application, but I want y'all to see the end result. So we're filing and just flushing the entire side with the file, and then going in with this thumb, flushing the entire side, and putting it at a 180 angle on the side of the nail, if that makes sense. And then I'll show y'all. Hopefully I'll put it in the camera. Yeah, I sure did. Look, perfect. Boom. Look at that. It's literally perfect because I flushed the entire nail. I didn't just do the tip. And now I'm holding her nail, and then I'm putting that file at a 45 degree angle. And this is going to give us that C-curve look to support the tip, but I don't do a deep one. I know some people who do like FLA tips. She's famous for that, but my style is kind of like I do it a little bit, but at the same time I don't do it too much because that's just not my style of work. So I'm going to do this to each nail, and then y'all see how it looks. But yeah, Okay, so I'm going in and I'm repeating this on every single nail because we want that perfect shape. Why would I do it to one nail and not do it to the others, right? So we're going in with, again, that 80-80 foul at a 45-degree angle to create that C-curve look. And of course, it's not going to be that intense, because once I go in with my E-foul and foul underwards, which y'all will see what I mean, it's going to create that perfect tip and the perfect shape. So I'm going to do it lastly to the pinky. No, the last finger going to be the thumb, but I'm doing it to the pinky again at a 45-degree angle. I tried to show y'all what I mean. It's not a 90-degree angle because that's going to make the nail go downward, and we don't want that. We want to make it look like that illusion to where it's folding back. Y'all, this probably don't make no sense what I'm saying. I hope it does. But like I said, we're going in and doing it to the thumb at that 45-degree angle. Kind of like, imagine you holding the part that's facing you down and then the other part up. That's going to make the perfect tip of the nail, and you're going to understand what I mean by the 45-degree angle.
I can see us holding hands, walking on the beach, our toes in the sand. I can see us on the countryside, sitting on the grassland side by side. You can be my baby, wanna make you my lady. Girl, you amaze me, ain't gotta do nothing crazy. See, all I want you to do is be my love. My love, my love. Ain't another woman that can take your spot, my love. My love, my love.
Okay, so I skipped a couple nails because it wasn't in the view of the camera, but as y'all can see, I'm extending the bit out, and I'm just going in and leveling out the side of that nail underwards, because you want, again, the shape to be perfect, baby. The shaping don't stop after you're done using a foul. You have to go in with your E-foul too to make sure that it's really clean and precise. So I'm just going underwards and getting all that acrylic that may have failed, and y'all see the difference. Like, it looks so much better. And like I said, I went under the tip of that nail, and the shape literally looks perfect. Like, y'all see the blueprint, baby. You see that when I put that you can tell that when I do that paint, it's gonna look perfect, right? So I'm doing the same thing. I'm just coming in at the tip, making sure that underwards it's not no extra acrylic or nothing like that. And y'all just see, like, y'all can zoom in and just see that as I'm going underwards, it just make it look so much cleaner and sharper, and it helps a lot with the overall look of the nail. Because if I was to skip this step, it would just wouldn't look as clean. And girl, I'm talking like Medea. I'm a slight perfectionist, so if that junk don't look like that, y'all see that? Baby, look at it. So I'm doing the same thing on the other nails. I'm finna speed through because, y'all, I don't know why I wasn't in the view, but hopefully y'all get the gist. Okay, so right here I'm going in with my coarse drill bit. I got all of these from Amazon. It came in a little set, and again, everything I'm using is going to be in the description below. So I'm just going from a left to right motion. Again, I'm right-handed, so everything I do is left to right, and then I'm coming up and just going at a angled motion. You don't want to do it too angled because you can cut their skin, but you don't want to do it too flat because then you're not going to be flushing the cuticle area. So I'm just going in and using it very slowly. No matter how high my drill is, when you use slow strokes, you'll get the best product, especially when going around the cuticle area, right? So let's say your drill is on like 8. You don't want to move fast because your drill is moving fast. You want to move slow and allow the drill to do the work for you. So I'm moving slow. I'm not slow, but y'all know what I mean, at a steady pace, and I'm allowing the drill to just take off all the extra acrylic. Again, coming in from the side, left to right, a full like half moon around that cuticle area, and then we're just continuing that motion throughout the entire nail just to smooth it out. Like, it was already smooth, but we want to make sure it's ultra smooth because, again, we're painting and we don't want to be in a situation to where we're left with dents, because then the paint won't look right, and then boom, your whole set messed up, like you might as well say, right? So I'm going in and making sure that there's no dents, making sure that everything is smooth, and we're going back under like a little bit. Like, you just want to make sure that you're covering the area of the entire nail and smoothing that thing out until it looks right. Now, you don't want to drill too much, but yeah. So I'm pushing down right there because y'all see how that acrylic is like, I kind of got it on her skin a little bit. That's what I was talking about earlier. So I'm coming in and I'm just taking that away, and this way we won't have any lifting and it won't be uncomfortable for my client because they can feel that. Like after she leaves, you're like, why is this about my skin? You know what I mean? And you don't want that to happen. You want everything to look seamless and everything to be on point. Period.
I used to tell lies, but I would never lie to you. Sipping spray on my dime, looking all kinds of new. So you know what I like, what you like to do. Tell me, I'm telling you. I know I've been away. I'm just trying to get my people straight, girl. Don't give my shit away. I'm just trying to get my people straight. I know I've been away. Don't give my shit away. I'm just trying to get my people straight. They just wanna fuck with you. Just they know I fuck with you. If I put my trust in you, what will you do? Will you just step back? Will you duck it out? Will you be here to the end? I just wanna know if you my friend. I just wanna know if you pretending. I know I've been away. I'm just trying to get my people straight. Don't give my shit away. I'm just trying to get my people straight. I know I've been away. I'm just trying to get my people straight.
So right here I'm going in with a cone drill bit and I'm doing the exact same thing. And the reason why I use two is because for one, they give different looks, so they have different purposes. One course is higher than the other one, and I'm talking about both of the different drill bits I'm using, but dang, y'all, I don't know what just happened. I'm literally going in the same motions as I was with the other one, and I'm using this one to kind of clean up the sides a little bit more because again, it is a cone opposed to it being a barrel, so it does do different things. And another thing is it gets in that cuticle area a little bit more, so that we won't have any lifting and that we can flush that cuticle area the correct way. But I'm not changing the motion at all. I'm going the same way. And again, I know for me, like when I'm going around the cuticle, I use the drill at like 7 or 8. So again, you want to be using a steady pace, but let the drill do the work for you, especially with these coarse bits. Cause I remember when I first started using these, when I tell you I cut my clients so bad, like, and this was a couple months ago because again, I only been doing nails for like almost 2 years. So I cut my clients so bad because I didn't know, like, don't move fast if your drill moving fast. Move slow and let the drill do the work for you. So I'm going in that same motion, left to right, and then we're just going to go ahead and bring that down, and that's it.
They just wanna fuck with you, 'cause they know I fuck with you. If I put my trust in you, what will you do? Will you just step back? Will you duck it out? Will you be here to the end? I just wanna know if you my friend. I just wanna know if you pretending. I know I've been away.
Okay, y'all, this ended up being our outcome after we was done doing the application and everything. The designs was on point because the application was on point, period. But I really hope that y'all enjoy, and I hope I helped y'all out with something. But let me know what y'all want to see next in the comment section below, and I'll see y'all next time.
Drive, look alive, niggas came up on this side, now they on the other side. Oh well, fuck them, dawg.